Hi, we finished meeting for pronunciation practice on November 5th, and I forgot to let everybody know in advance that we had a time change in the United States on Sunday. We started daylight saving time. So, if you missed today's meeting, I'm really sorry. I didn't put it in the notes in advance. I did put a link to this time and date website in the comments of today's meeting, and I'll put it in tomorrow's meeting. This is a great way, the meeting planner, let me go back to setting it again. You can set Boston as my time for the meetup, and then you can put any other city, whatever you want. Let me just pick something and then show the timetable. And if you ever have to plan a meeting with someone in a whole different time zone, this is really helpful because the green areas are what is a good time for each person. And when you see the green overlap, that's the best time. Maybe there's no really good time between Boston and Bangkok. Maybe this yellow and green is close enough. So this is a good way to find out. I'm very confused about daylight savings time. What time is it on the East Coast? This is a good website to plan meetings or find a good time to meet. So, worse. It has an S at the end and an in the middle. Worth has the same in the middle, but a TH at the end. So your tongue has to do a lot of movement. Forget about how it's spelled. It looks like OR, but it sounds like ER. So you're just making the sound of the R, were, and then go forward for the S, worse, worth, forward for the TH, worth. They are hard to hear at the end because they're voiceless sounds. Worse, worth. But you'll notice them more when they connect with a vowel. Worse off and worth it. This looks very similar, but it's a voiced TH, so I made it bold. Worthy. Worthy. Keep the air flowing when you finish your R. Worthy. Don't stop worthy. Worthy. That's a lot of airflow. So there's options for this, and the shortest way is usually the more common way. So you can choose whichever way you like, and you look it up in the dictionary, you'll see more options, but sumptuously is the short way. Sumptuously, a little bit longer. This one, presumptuously, it's pretty much the same, but the S now sounds like a Z. Presumptuously. Or longer, presumptuously. Presumptuously. Now, I have the EE here, period, but just like the word really, you don't have to make it a perfect E, like here, your tongue is very high, he, and you don't have to say really. Your tongue can get a little more relaxed and sound like really, and the same thing happens here, period. Really high E, period, a little more relaxed, period. Both are totally fine. And now, man, men, woman, women. Man looks like Anne, sounds like Anne. The jaw is very open, lips are back. Ah. But this man in this word doesn't sound like man. The O doesn't sound like O. It sounds like and took, so it's w. And the MAN isn't stressed, and it sounds like un. Woman. W as in took and good, and mun as in money. Mun. Woman. Men as the men. This men can sound like N, or it's not stressed, so it can sound the same as the first vowel, looks like O, but sounds like wi, as in hit. Women. Well, that was a bad choice for an example word right now. Women. Women. I'll go through them again. Man, men, woman, women. Yeah, very confusing what it looks like and what it sounds like, but the sounds themselves are not difficult sounds, so that's good. Stray, as in there's a stray cat outside. sounds like straight because you won't hear the final T, straight, unless there's a vowel after it, straight up. And then the T will sound like a D. But just by themselves, saying the word, you won't hear the final T. Stray, straight. Commensurate. You can have this or not have the With it, commensurate. Without it, commensurate. Ameliorate. Ameliorate. Pragmatic. You won't hear this G, G, and you won't hear this K, K, but you will hear the D as your tongue keeps moving. Pragmatic. You can say I or but it's not common to say ephemeral. So I, here I spelled it IH for the I, ephemeral. Ephemeral. There were many options to pronounce this, and I went with the first one in the dictionary because that's the most common. So I can show you what that looks like with those options here. So they're using this little I for I instead of the regular phonetic alphabet using the little letter I as an E. So keep that in mind. If you can hear it, I, ephemeral. The second option has an E, ephemeral. Or you can drop that little and say ephemeral or ephemeral. So when you have these options, the first one is listed as the most common, and that's what I'm going with. Ephemeral, reticent, reticent, equivocal, equivocal, elegant, elegant, and arrogant, arrogant. So big difference between the L and the Elegant, don't let your tongue touch, arrogant. Ambivalent, ambivalent. Belligerent, belligerent. On this one, make sure you have a good j. So push your tongue up at the top of your mouth and hold all the air back with pressure so that when you release it, it releases with a lot of pressure and has a good j. Belligerent. And that's as far as we got. But we had some really good words with a lot of I practice. All of these qui, bi, li. All right, I'll do it again without chit chat. Worse, worth, worthy, sumptuously, sumptuously, presumptuously, presumptuously, period, period, man, men, woman, women, stray, straight, commensurate, ameliorate, pragmatic, ephemeral, reticent, equivocal, elegant, arrogant, ambivalent, belligerent. That's it.